Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this call. I'm really excited to introduce you to Susan. As you know from our group chat today, a little bit about Susan. She's going to do a proper introduction about herself. But Susan does some really clever transformational stuff, and I've have been privileged to have a session myself and was amazed at what you can actually do for yourself on a spiritual level. She's going to explain much more. Susan's worked with loads of people, even within our business. Obviously, Stuart Armfield, when his team were going to Nation, she was integral in giving the team the belief that they could actually do it, and they obviously, as you know, became hugely successful. So I want to pass you over to Susan. She's going to give us some information about what she does, but also to tell us about a personalized course that she can put together for us, which will help all of us to, really release those blocks that are, stopping us from being where we want to be in our life and moving forward, not only with our life, but in our business as well. So thanks for joining us, Susan. I'll pass you over.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for having me and inviting me on this call tonight. I started off, I call myself a spiritual scientist, and the reason I do that is because I mix the science with the spiritual. So my background is psychology and psychotherapy, and I'm also a naturopath and a neuropsychologist. So I work with the whole mind, body, spirit. I have also been a medium that I've known for over 25 years. So I incorporate my fine connection to my intuition, to my guides, but also I incorporate my scientific aspect. So I'm looking at evidence-based. So the work that I do with people, I teach them how to know whether something is actually gone from their field. So essentially, we're looking at ourselves as this incredible soul having a human experience, and so we are this vibrational field. So when we think about it, when we have shock and trauma and belief systems, these are held as a vibrational match. So if you imagine you are the universe gives you a reflection back of your belief system. So if you're lacking in success or love, or wherever you're living, or your body is showing you messages, then it's because the vibration that you're putting out to the universe is reflecting back to you how you feel about yourself. And really that's about love. So it's either love or fear. So what we do, and the work that I most do, is help people really align to the self-love. And the way that we do that is by releasing all of those aspects that, what the guides say is sort of interruptions in light, in your light field, so that you become this sparkly, bright, beautiful beam of light that you really are. And it's only those little bits that get in the way that stop you from being this incredible person out in the world. And who we really are is here to serve, but we're not here to serve at the detriment of ourselves. So, what I find with many people is that there's a big sacrifice. So they feel, I can't charge, I can't ask for money, I don't feel value of myself, and many other things. And a lot of it comes down to what we've experienced as a blueprint in childhood. So yes, we've had many times that we've been here before, but what we experience in childhood, either when we're growing in the womb, so epigenetically we call it, so thought form that we brought in with us, or our birthing experience, which really does give us that how safe is the world perception. And then from then on, the early years. And I know, you've all heard about the first 7 years of life and how important it is, but it's more than that. It's more about how we perceive the world. And, there are many times when we've perceived the world in a way that perhaps was contained, and our parents or someone around us would say, no, you're absolutely fine. But there are times that we haven't been given that. So it's those times that we haven't been given that, we put up these kind of heart walls. And I know you've experienced that Rebecca, in the work that we've done together. And so these walls are not really there, but they're sort of like a protection for us. And so we perceive them as a protection, but of course what happens is they actually stop us. So this perception is sort of almost like a closing down of the heart. And obviously it's not closed, but it's a perception that we've got to protect ourselves. So when we protect ourselves, then of course we're protecting ourselves from receiving. And quite often, if we've had a feeling that we're not supported by mother, and usually by mother, if we're not felt supported and we have a line of resentment or anger or frustration towards that, that really stops the receiving of money. And I just stumbled upon this. You know, I've done this job for over 20 odd years as a therapist, and worked in child protection for quite a lot of that as well. And so I've seen many, many patterns. But what I have really found from my work with working with veterans and PTSD and specialising in trauma, I found that when we have the vibrational set point of resentment, it's really hard to receive. And it's hard to receive money, really, money and success, because there's still that, the mother, you know, the mother gives birth to us, but the mother is also the mother that supports us here, meaning Mother Earth. Okay, so if we feel in our human form that we're not supported by mother, then if you imagine we're sort of there, we're up there, but we're not grounded in this earth. So I found, and I kind of noticed this to happen, that when we can release those blocks and emotions to resentment and heal our mother, heal our father, you know, there's particular processes I use where we can actually really cut the ties that bind us to people, still loving them and still supporting, you know, them, but just actually cutting the ties that bind us with forgiveness. Then I find that people just seem to just get more in alignment with who they are, and they start to attract amazing opportunities and success. And that's what I'd really like to work with you guys with, if you're open to it. So yeah, I worked with Stuart. It was a really great experience working with them around success, and that was a physical course that I actually ran. And I think not 100% of them, but I think a good 80% of those people on that course reached a new level of their business and even further. And one of the ladies was, what's the lady that does all the theatre? She was musical theatre.
Claire Fishenden.
Claire Fishenden, yeah. So Claire, then obviously she had baby, which is lovely, but she went on to really go up to one of the highest levels, I think Claire did. So you know, it's really exciting to watch everybody really transform. So I channeled, and when I say channeled, it means I'm really connecting with my inner guidance and what is for the highest and best for you guys as a group. And I put together 6 weeks, and I feel 6 weeks would be amazing if we did an hour a week, and we can talk out the logistics of dates and things like that later. But so if we heal relationship to source, meaning relationship to who we are from our inner guidance perspective, so how connected we are to our inner guidance so that we have all the answers within us, relationship to self-love, meaning healing all those blocks to worthy and deserving, and guilt and shame and blame and all of the stuff that comes up all the time with people. Relationship to success, relationship to others. So when we look outside of ourselves at our relationships, it could be anyone, work colleagues, people that you're working with in your team, you know, Rebecca, you can look at what reflections you get back. And so that is a key to our inner healing that needs to be done. So if we have great relationships and they're beautiful symbiotic relationships, then there's nothing there that we need to heal. But if somebody shows something like maybe jealousy, maybe fear, maybe just a feeling of I'm not sure I really want to speak my truth to that person, then there's our inner healing. Mm-hmm. So that's a fantastic thing to do. So we work with relationships outside of us. So that's mother, father, and anybody else that comes up. Relationship to money and success is around vows and oaths. So we've had many, many, many lifetimes where we have been married into the church. We've given up all our worldly goods, and whether you know believe in past lives or you don't, it doesn't really matter to me. It's important to clear these things because it's massive when we clear vows and oaths to poverty, contracts, agreements, really massive. So yeah, really looking at the magnetizing success. So looking at the vibration that we hold. So making sure that at the end of this course, we are vibrating at millionaire vibration. Okay, so that's really exciting. And I was explaining before we started recording that what that means is that we are a vibrational match to those that need to be in our energy. Okay, so I call it a millionaire vibration because then it is an unlimited, it's unlimited. We can do billionaire if you want, it doesn't matter to me. But, you know, millionaire is quite good, isn't it, to start with? And so then, yeah, so then we attract situations into our experience that are a receiving beautiful vibration. And we don't meet people that can't afford. I know you guys do, you know, you sell products and things like that, and you have to speak from your heart with integrity. And I know this product is with integrity, else I wouldn't be working with it. And you have to believe that you're worthy of receiving customers and worthy of, and that the product you're selling, you feel is 100% in integrity with you. Okay. So I think we already have that bit. But the bit that perhaps we don't have is I'm fully in alignment with receiving, okay, from giving. So it's like this, I call it a symbiotic relationship. So it's like this, and you know the figure 8 is infinity. So it's this, there should be no blocks to receiving. So it's not just about giving. So when we have a millionaire vibration, it doesn't mean necessarily that our bank account shows $1 million or £1 million. It just means that we are in vibrational alignment to receive in an infinite possibility way.
Yeah.
So if that sounds exciting, I thought what I would do is also put in a one-to-one bespoke session for you all. So that would be at the end of the 6 weeks, because then we can really look at what might be the next step for you, or if there was anything that needed tidying up, we could tidy it up in that session. So for the whole 6 weeks plus a session, it would be 333. There's a reason for that, because that is a power number of manifesting. So anything that is 333 is really powerful. And if you chose, and if you felt that it wasn't, you didn't want a private session at this time, then it would be, we would work it out as, I think we worked out as just under 200, didn't we, Rebecca?
Yeah,
so I think it was 198. We could say 200, yeah, to make it easier. And that would be without the private session, and that's absolutely fine as well. So it works out to be about £33 a week. Yeah. So what else can I say about it? Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm being guided to remember this. So a lot of the work will be around the inner child. So a huge amount of this work would be around the inner child and really healing that part of us that is really, from a psychotherapy perspective, outside of us, saying, I couldn't possibly do that. I'm too scared. I haven't got support around me. I feel disconnected. And that's the part of us that does not put ourselves forward, does not stand up and say who we are without ego. There's no ego in it, but just from a place of, I know I'm in service. I know that I can help you, and I know that I'm doing it from integrity. And that's obviously when you're selling, you know, you're really selling yourself, aren't you? So when you're selling your products or whatever, you know, you're selling, you're actually saying, this is me. I totally believe in this. But if you have the vibration of not believing in yourself, then what you get back is a reflection of that.
Yeah.
So it's an exciting journey, because as you start to notice that different things happen in your world, you're like, oh, that's really exciting. Okay, so thank you, because I've attracted that. And that's where you get to. You end up getting to the place where you just say thank you for everything, because it is always of a vibrational set point that's great and happy and exciting. Yeah. And there's enough time in the day for everything. That's the key. That was the key thing for me. It was like, well, how can I do all of this? You know, but actually there's no time. Time is irrelevant. It's like when you're living in the moment of your vibration of why you're truly here, no, it's irrelevant what time. Is there any questions you can think of your
Well,
people?
I know for sure. I just want to, for everyone, I know everyone's going to watch this, because they've all told me that they're really keen to find out.
Yeah, sure.
So I want to, just from a personal perspective, to share a little bit with you. So Sue and I did an amazing session. Just so you know, I'm sure Susan wouldn't brag about this in any way, but she actually charges, you know, and people happily pay £222 an hour to have a session, and it's incredibly powerful. So this course is incredible value for what you're actually going to get.
I'm doing it for you that way.
Yeah, it's amazing. You really will gain such an incredible amount from it. Even in my hour with Susan that I had, it was we did an inner child work, and I was obviously thought it was a little bit out there, but I was just going to get it, and I was really surprised at the relief that I had from that session. Completely transformed me. You know, it completely changed the way I felt about my inner child. I felt at peace with it for the first time in 35 years, and this was an hour's work. So I don't want you to not get it's so quick, it's fast. It's not like when you go to, when I was younger, I went to therapy and you have sessions and you just sort of talk about the past and all that sort of stuff. It's nothing like that. This is immediate.
I don't need to know anything about anyone.
It's amazing. It's like immediately changes you on a cellular level. It's quite so if you have any questions, then I'm going to put Susan's email address, and she's more than happy to take
my website and stuff.
So you can check it all out and see what you think. But we're really excited to do this. I think as a team it'll be amazing, so it'll really help us with everybody getting to the next level. But more importantly, the impact it will have on your life in general.
Not just on the Arbonne, but actually in your whole life. Absolutely. It's incidental really, that when we work with our inner self and the self-love, when we work with that, everything changes. Our relationship with our children. I'm a mother of 2 children, as you know, and I have an 11.5-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I know that they are the people they are because of all the work I've done on myself. And there's no fear or anything with their journeys, and it just calms you in a sense that you have this inner peace. So that everything changes, and I never think about what opportunities are coming up next. I just go, oh, that's really nice, thank you, lovely. It's nothing I really think about nowadays. Whereas years ago, I would say that it was a bit of a struggle to create and manifest. And of course, now I know, I've been there, I've done it, I've worn the t-shirt and made the film. So I'm not coming from a place of being given a golden spoon when I was growing up. It wasn't like that. So I can come from that place and now tell you how it is by doing all the work. So it's an exciting journey.
Love it. Thank you so much. We've got another call on at 8, so I'm going to
cool. Lovely.
Very much for this. And
much love.
We'll be in touch over this week. Anyway.
Sure, great. Okay, thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
She's called you Lucy.
I think she said nice to meet you.
Oh, I thought she said bye, Lucy.
Oh, that's my middle name.
I know, that's what I thought. Wow. Did she not say bye, Lucy? She does weird stuff. She does really weird stuff.
Can you quickly rewind it?
I've got to record it first. Hold on. So end meeting.